Hello, I'm Rachel Jones for the Finance News Network. Joining me today from Memphasys is Executive Chairman Alison Coutts. Alison, welcome to FNN.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here.
Now, first up, Alison, could you start by giving us an introduction to your company?
Yes, I'd be delighted. I'm really pleased to be here because I'm trying to get a really important message out. We are a bioseparations company, and Memphasys comes from emphasis on membrane separation systems. What we do is we separate out the most valuable components from a biological fluid. Our first product is separating the best sperm from semen for IVF treatments. And what's unique about us is that we've got a product that we know works because it already, some years ago, resulted in some live births.
That's fantastic. Thanks, Alison. Now, before we talk about the commercialisation, can we talk about the techniques and how it works?
Yeah, so we use membranes, as I stated, and we also use a process called electrophoresis. So those two things help us to separate by size with the membranes and by electrical force with this electrophoresis. We put a charge across the fluid. And what people don't realise is that the best sperm have the most negative charge on a cell surface. It's part of the way they create their cytoskeleton, and that indicates the least DNA damage. What we do is we draw them across with the current or the voltage, and they go towards the anode. The very, very large cells, like white blood cells, get left behind, and we get the really good yield quickly, 3 minutes, automated process, and they're the best.
Thanks, Alison. And you recently attended the conference in human reproduction and embryology in Spain. What were the highlights of that?
Oh, a few things. It was wonderful to be there. It was great to see John Aitken give one of the keynote addresses, and it confirmed our view, and everybody's actually knowledge now that at least 50% of the time for infertile couples, the male has a responsibility. And the second thing it confirmed to me was that there's no new treatment for male infertility out there. And thirdly, we were able to meet a number of key opinion leaders, and everybody we met expressed a desire to help test our new Felix device. That's the name of the device we're developing.
So when do those trials start, and what will you be testing for?
The trials will start when we finalise the development of the machine, the device that we plan to take to market. We've started making, certainly it's finalising its design. It's going to have single-use disposable cartridges, and we expect it to be ready to give to the key opinion leaders in the first quarter of next year.
And now to your pathway to commercialisation, where do you expect the first sales of your device to come from?
We expect these sales to be in the key markets of Europe, which is where these key opinion leaders were from. After the EU, we expect TGA to follow, so sales in Australia, and then after that, FDA.
And Alison, can you provide a comment on your share price over the last 12 months?
Well, it's a good question. It's been a hard time. I inherited a lot of drama and litigation. Fortunately, I can say that is well and truly all behind us. But while we were going through the last bits of it, we had to fund, that's myself and my fellow director, Andrew Goodall, had to fund the company essentially ourselves. There were some interesting moments, and we got an equity line of credit, which then caused the share price to spiral right down, and also caused a very, very large number of shares to be on issue. Fortunately, as I said, it's all behind us. It's a clean sheet, and we now have done a consolidation 15-1, which has really tidied up the share register, and we've managed to get a very high-profile, committed investor in Bob Peters, horse racing and ownership identity, to help with where we're going in the future, because we've also got a horse application. And we've got Patterson Securities behind us, who've been wonderful in helping us with raising the money when we need it.
And last question now, Alison. What can investors look for in terms of news flow over the next 12 months?
Well, really, it's all about the development of this Felix device, and everything to do with that you'll see. So there's going to be some news about how we're going on the development path of getting that device ready to put into the hands of the key opinion leaders. I'm attending a conference over in the US and trying to get some more US-based key opinion leaders. We've already reached out to some and there's been some very positive response. There's nothing like meeting them in person. And so we'll have devices out starting with key opinion leader trials in that period, and there'll be news flow from that. In addition, we'll be developing the horse application, which uses the same core technology, but we've got to scale up the device if we're to use it for artificial insemination.
Alison Coutts, thanks for the update.
Thank you very much.